Welcome SAO survivors! This week we have Anime Expo approaching quite fast with potential Scherzo as well as Aria Bluray news in the US. We got the new closed beta test dates for Sword Online variant Showdown, the upcoming mobile game. We have new SAO audiobooks by Yen Audio scheduled for release. A whole bunch of stuff on the existing mobile games and more. Welcome to This Week in SAO for all your weekly SAO news. And this week's twist was brought to you by our sponsor, Overlord Escape from Nazarick. Season 4 of Overlord anime is airing in July, but before then, experience a new chapter in the Overlord series supervised by the original creator Maruyama Kugane. In Overlord Escape from Nazarick, you'll be playing as Clementine, who was imprisoned in the Great Tomb of Nazarick by Ainz himself. Your task is to find the way out. In this story-driven Metroidvania, you'll be utilizing action-packed parkour, use beautifully animated martial arts and magic, switch up and upgrade your weapons to challenge huge and powerful bosses exploiting their weaknesses, while also searching for Clementine's memory fragments to uncover the mysteries and reveal Clementine's circumstances. Overlord Escape from Nazarick is available June 16 on PCs through Steam and on Nintendo Switch. Head over to the link on your screen and in the description to check out this dark fantasy action-adventure game with a brand new story filled with intrigue in the Overlord series. First things first, the same thing we've been talking about for the past month. Last week was the release of SAO Progressive Volume 8, the second half of Floor 7. That's as short as I'm gonna keep it. Amazon and Book Depository links in the description if you have not pre-ordered yet. That was last week. June 7 is when it came out. And now we're looking forward to Japan for Reki Kawara to finally announce Progressive 9 at some point. Who knows when that's gonna happen. But we got some other things that are quite close on the calendar for Yampress to release. This is your 1 week warning for Abeshi Artworks Wanderers book, as well as Project Alicization Manga Volume 5 by Yampress. Both of them are coming out on June 21st, so you should probably get to pre-ordering them by now. In other news that I mostly neglected due to the unfriendly nature for searching for these news, Yampress does not exactly announce them as much as they do with their regular light novels and manga. But on the audiobook side, we have Sword Online Volume 6 Phantom Bullet Part 2 scheduled for August 9, 2022, and Sword Online Volume 7 Mother's Rosario scheduled for November 8, 2022. So if you're a fan of the audiobooks narrated by Bryce Papenbrook, with mostly Shera Millet, Asuna's voice actor, joining Kirito's voice actor in the narrations, these books are progressing quite fast. We're almost at the start of Alicization. It's gonna be interesting where we go and when we're finally gonna get those progressive novels into the audiobook form as well. Yampress, do it. Now we're getting to the exciting news. Anime Expo, SAO stage featuring Shera Millet, Asuna's voice actor, as well as Bryce Papenbrook, Kirito's voice actor, the English voice actors of course. The stage is taking place on July 1st. It's quite close, just 2 weeks away, so stay tuned. We don't really know what we're gonna get, but we have educated guesses of course. Please, I need to stress this quite harshly because most people like to take these and run away. I am not claiming we're gonna get certain stuff, but potentially we can expect a full Scherzo trailer at the very least. Come on, the movie is only a couple months left. But we can potentially expect a Scherzo of Deep Night movie trailer, the first full trailer in fact. The movie is only a couple months away at this point, you know. By this time, for Aria, we received like 2.5 trailers, more or less. So it's getting a bit weird not having a single full trailer so far for the movie. Just 2 teasers, one of which was the post-credit scene for the Aria movie itself. Now, most people think, why would we get a full trailer in Anime Expo rather than something Japanese related? Because, if you didn't know, COVID numbers are going quite down, the life is somewhat returning to normal at this point, and this makes it quite likely that we are going to get a global release for the movie this time around, unlike Aria of a Starless Night. All of these are my personal estimations at the very least, so please don't run around with them as if they are guaranteed to happen. But yeah, that's my take on the circumstances. Aside from Scherzo news, we will I wanna say most certainly going to get a Aria Bluray release announcement, as well as potentially streaming websites like Crunchyroll, etc. Those people joining in. We'll see if that happens, particularly if the Blu-ray is announced for the US audiences. Naturally, that's gonna come with the English dub as well. So if you've been waiting for the English dub announcement, that is the announcement you're looking for. Otherwise, the Japanese Blu-ray is going to have English subs, so that one has been taken care of for quite some time. It's gonna release on July 8th. And of course, as is tradition for Anime Expo, you know, I don't like it at all. I find them quite random and forced, but we're very likely gonna get some sort of a blooper reel as usual for whichever SAO project they want to share it from, maybe from Aria, but that's gonna be weird without anyone having watched Aria at this point due to the unavailability of the Blu-ray or streaming platforms. We'll see, but chances are you can potentially expect a blooper reel from a previous SAO project to be revealed there. Now we're moving on to the game news. Sword Online Variant Showdown has announced its new closed beta dates. As we have discussed in the previous weeks, the beta had been delayed from June 10, and now we have the new dates. We got two different dates because we have two different groups for all participants. In the upcoming days, you will receive an email if you have been accepted to the beta, that is, to let you know which group you find yourself in, so keep checking your inbox. And first group is going to be participating on June 17 until June 21st. So it's pretty much this upcoming weekend. That's why you need to be checking your email quite regularly at this point. And the second group is going to be participating from June 24 to June 28, so the week after. Keep in mind the final day of the closed beta is going to start with a maintenance and bring in some new content as well as a new gacha, if I remember correctly. We have talked about that in the previous videos as well. And this should act as a stress test of some sort. So if you want to see as much content as possible, you may want to log in your final day of your group. On the Alicization Lycoris side of things, we have absolutely nothing. This has been the Alicization Lycoris corner for this video. You're welcome. Integral Factor, as usual, we have a whole bunch of stuff, so I am completely going over to my list. We have Wedding Selection Order, which features wedding units until 2020. We have the 4-star guaranteed free order available. We have Guild of Guilds event. The main portion of the event is starting this Wednesday on 15th. Surprise Wedding Story event rerun for some gems and stamps. Cool. Bride's Dress with a Smile event rerun as well for gems and a 3-star Shinon, 3-star Yuki, and 3-star Lisbeth unit. These are all June Bride events from previous years being rerun. There is the 4x XP campaign in Character Quest, so if you're trying to level, that is always a good choice. We have build up equipment with Lisbeth for, equipment enhancement materials as usual. Phantom Order is a new banner featuring Shinon, Lisbeth, Kirito, and Lifa. Weekly guaranteed weapon order is Spears, which lasts until Wednesday, so you have 2 days left. And Raising Assisting Character campaign for Sachi. On top of this, we have a new stream for Integral Factor scheduled. That's gonna take place on June 17. So if you're curious for more Integral Factor news, do mark your calendars for that June 17 date. And with that, we are moving over to Unleash Blading. Now, Integral Factor had the stream scheduled for the future. Unleash Blading just had their stream on June 8. The reveals were Dark Emperor storyline, Kirito and Asuna units, their outfit redesigned specifically. They even shared a small character sheet for them as well. So this is going to be their story outfits from here onwards for their original story. That is a sequel to the Moon Cradle side story. And I have to mention they are going with the title The Dark Emperor for their story. They've been going with that for a while. That is a misinterpretation of the usage of the title. If you have read the books, you already know, but Ronya was specifically referring to the recreated emperors who were recreated using clay and dark magic, so their skins were actually darker, and hence why they were referred to as Dark Emperors, whereas, Unleash Blading is just going for a single pivotal emperor or something. yes, it is weird and it's gonna be interesting. I keep saying it's gonna be interesting where they go because, you know, they have so much to juggle around. But if you want to hear about the Mooncradle story really extensively, I have a brand new Gamerturk's Book Club episode where I review both Volume 19 and Volume 20, so the entirety of Mooncradle's story. You may want to check that out instead. But moving on, the Kirito and Asuna that they have teased with their character sheets, they are also getting their units. Obviously, Kirito unit is already available in the game. Asuna is going to be coming at a later date. The title for the unit, especially for Kirito, is also a terrible, terrible translation, almost as terrible as that Pitiful Shilika unit. They actually titled that one Pitiful Shilika. But let's not go into the translation shenanigans of the game as usual. The event Dark Gleam Eyes is here. It is matching the new Kirito, but if you have a solid, you know, light team, it is not a ranking event. You can just breeze through it just fine. Good news, if you are in search for a little bit more gems, War of Underworld event is returning on June 23rd, and it's gonna last an entire week. Do participate, help your guild, you know, get a decent guild ranking, get some additional gems. That's what it's good for, and pretty much nothing else. I'm not a huge fan of the War of Underworld events. They are way too grindy in my opinion. And last but not least, the stream revealed a Bright Alice designed by Ai Kayano coming soon to the game as part of the June Bright banners, of course, because that's one of the biggest cash grab periods for all Japanese gacha games. That's it for all the news from this week in SAO. Thank you very much for watching. Do hit that like button if you enjoyed, comment if you have questions. You can become a channel member and a patron and directly support my channel that way. I've been streaming Fire Emblem quite recently, quite a lot, so if you want to join the chat, ask me questions, I'll be right there, you know, you can ask me about anything, SAO, Sonic, whatever, and I'll be there to answer. But with all that, huge thanks to all my channel members and patrons as usual, and I will see you all next time. Until then, stay cool.